Welcome again to Inspired Voices with Sangwadzi Spiwekachidza Mapfumo. As usual, I bring you guests who inspire us, educate us, and we amplify what they are doing, and hopefully that will inspire us to do more. My guest today is my friend Agnes Nyanhongo, who is a sculptor in Zimbabwe, and she started sculpting when she was 11 years old. Agnes, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Okay, so tell me about yourself. You are in an industry which is mainly most men. There are
Yes.
very few women that we hear who are doing the work that you're doing, and I applaud you for that. And I thought, let me bring you and let's talk about Agnes. Who is Agnes, and how did you get started in this?
Yeah, my name is Agnes Nyanhongo, born in a family of a sculptor, first generation sculptor, Shona sculptor in Zimbabwe. Is Cloud Nyanhongo, my father. And Agnes grew up around my father. At first, I was just playing around, and when you sculpt, it makes a dust which is dirty. And he
Mhm.
used sometimes in the end, he was like harsh because I'll be just like dirty and everything and need to be clean. And
Of
sometimes
course.
mom is not there and I'm with him and he knows all that labor. And then in the end, I was like taking also some rugs, starting to polish his work, and at another stage, taking up tools, also filing and chiseling. He could just take a rock and put it there so that I cannot disturb in his work and do that. And the other stage, then pick up tools, pick up the stone, and there I was sculpting. And my first sculpture was a turtle.
What was it?
A turtle.
Oh, okay, turtle. Okay, a turtle.
Yes, yes, that was
Why
my
a
first.
turtle?
Yeah,
Why
because
a
that's
turtle?
what my father was sculpting, and I was just getting it from him.
How
Yeah.
old were you when you started? I know you used to play around and just watch your dad do this. And uh, how old were you when you started like polishing your stuff and just messing
That's
around,
11 years.
11 years old? Were you going to
Mm.
school at that time?
Yes, I was going to school.
Where?
And then, yeah, I was going to school. When we went to school, those days you'd be like, I would like to be a nurse, I want to be a
Mhm.
pilot, I want to be a doctor.
Mhm.
And then later, there was this liberation war which disturbed schools in Zimbabwe.
Mhm.
And when we get our independence, I just said I want to do the art. And my father saw that I have that talent. And he found me in art school at the National Gallery of Zimbabwe.
Okay, before we get to the National Art Gallery, where were you born? Were you born in Harare, or where were you born, and how was it growing up? You gave us a picture of what it was, how you got into scum. But where were you born from zero to the time when you were hanging around your dad?
I was born in Nyanga, Eastern Islands. And we were just in Nyanga with my dad, used to work at home. And I went to school in Nyanga. And after the schooling, that's when I came to Harare for the art school.
Okay, so which art school did you go to, and who was your teacher, or how did it work out? Because I don't know if there's like a college or a school. Was that after grade 7 or after O levels when you decided to go to art school?
That was after grade 7. And
Okay,
then I went
so mhm.
to art school. There was an art school at the National Gallery, which was a BAT workshop. And my teacher was Paul Wade.
Howard is my very good friend. He's a brilliant artist, and I know he worked there for quite a long time, back in the 80s, going forward. He,
Yes.
uh, all right, that's very interesting. And so, did they have did he have a whole bunch of students he was helping, or he just took you under his arms and just walked you through? And exactly
No.
what that he taught you, because I know they do a lot of painting and stuff, but you, and they do have some sculptors as well.
There was a whole bunch of students, and we were doing all drawing, painting, tapestry, sculpting. So in the third year, I specialized in tapestry and sculpting. So I did all
So
the
you
three-year course.
it's really so
Yes.
you grew up surrounded by stones, I'm thinking.
Yes, I grew up surrounded by stones. But when I went to an art school, then there was I had to take all drawing and painting and sculpting.
But your love was for sculpting.
My love was sculpting, so I had to take all. So because they were going stage by stage, and we had to do all. Yes.
What inspired you, other than your father, that you, like I said, you grew up with stones around you, and what inspired you? Did you just realize that you have a knack for the arts, or that came about when you went to school, when under the tutorship of Paul Wade? That's when you realized I like art, or at what point? Maybe my questions are too many right now. What inspired you to go in there other than your dad?
What inspired me is because of growing up around my dad, working or sculpting, making art. His sculptures inspired me. Also, the nature inspired me, and all those growing up around all the stones. So that inspired me, and I loved to do art.
How many are you in your family, and are there any boys?
I am in a family of we were born 19 children in our family, and I'm the firstborn in that family.
You're the eldest
I'm the oldest.
of 19 children.
Yes.
Do you have any brothers? I'm sure. I mean, out of the 19, there's gotta be some boys.
After 19 children, we have two mothers.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
I do. Do you belong to the apostolic faith?
Yes.
Okay, so you had from your father's two wives. There are 19 children, right?
And I'm from the first mother.
Okay,
And
so
boys are there are 8 boys. Out of
okay,
19, there are 8 boys.
and 11 girls. So the boys, are they in? Do they do the same thing? Are they sculptors like your dad?
They do the same thing. It's a legacy of 4 generations now.
Wow.
That's
What,
also
really?
from my father. His father was a blacksmith, and he got it from his father. We got it from him, and I have also now a son who is also a sculptor. So that's a legacy of 4 generations.
That's
Yes.
amazing. That's amazing. So where do you do your work? Are you based somewhere?
Yeah. Let me say, from the art school, which was 3 years, I went to this Chapungu Sculpture Park.
Yes.
Chapungu Sculpture Park was from Roy Guthrie.
Yes.
And he invited artists to work at the park. So I was one of the artists. Soon after I left the school, I went to that sculpture park to sculpt there. So what he did was he brought stones, tools, and there was a bigger space so that artists would just explore their talent. So I was there, I think, for almost 3 years at Chapungu Sculpture Park. And then I left, I had my studio. Then I started working at my studio with my siblings, my brothers.
Okay.
Yes. Until now, we work at our studio.
Where is your studio in Harare?
In Greendale.
In Greendale.
Yes.
Okay.
It's in Greendale.
I find it totally amazing that because most girls wouldn't want to go into it, and you went into it and have been doing it for nearly 30 years. I'm thinking, because if Paul Wade was your teacher, that's back in the early 80s, right? So
Yes.
that's a good 30-something, nearly 40 years you've been doing this, right?
Yeah, that
Have
was.
you traveled? Have you traveled with your art?
Yes, I've traveled all over with my art. I started showing when I was at the art school, and then when we were at Chapungu, Roy Guthrie had to do exhibitions outside the country, United States of America, in the UK, in also in Europe, and in Singapore. So we had to travel with the shows all over.
So you've been to all those places showing
Yes.
some of your work.
Yes.
And can you tell me one place where one of your pieces are? I know it is, yeah.
I have a piece in Yorkshire Sculpture Park in England. I have a piece in Palmen Garden, which is in Germany. It's a botanical garden. Yes. And also I have 2 pieces in Hartsfield, Atlanta Airport.
All right. I've been to Atlanta Airport, and they've got a whole series of pieces from Zimbabwe with amazing pieces.
Yes.
I'm going to show, before I go, I want to show one of your pieces here. Let's see how this works.
The title is A Precious Gift.
Yes, I see that. And is that one of your favorite pieces?
Yes. It's one
Tell
of my
me
favorite.
about it. Yeah, tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah.
How long it took you and why?
And that piece, it took me 3 months sculpting, and it's a special gift. Why it's a special gift is that if someone remembers you and give you a gift, that is from the bottom of their heart, and it's so important that someone gives you a gift, and it will be a precious gift. And when you receive it, it will be so precious to you, so you keep it, and you won't forget that I had something from somebody.
Where do you get these stones? Where do you get the stones before you start working on them?
We get stones from not in Harare, and they are not stones that you can pick from anywhere. They have special deposits in Zimbabwe, and we don't get stones from outside of Zimbabwe. Our stones are from Zimbabwe, and we have different types of stones. So it's like one type is in Mutoko, the other one is in Mvurwi, and we have also a nice stone from our place in Nyanga. So we get quite different stones from different parts of Zimbabwe. And they are like minerals.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was going to ask, do you, when you have a piece of stone, do you feel like it talks to you what you're going to make out of it? Or how do you decide, all right, I'm going to make mother and child, or I'm going to make a turtle, or I'm going to, how do you do that?
Yeah, it's either way. Sometimes you have a stone right there, and when you look at the stone, you can see a sculpture in the stone. And what you have to do is to bring out that sculpture, which is in the stone. And sometimes I see the sculpture finished before I start sculpting. So you have to go around taking off and bringing out that sculpture, giving it life. And sometimes it's like I just think of a theme and I go around some stones looking which stone will relate to what I am thinking. And when you go around, it's not easy that you can just go around and pick a stone right there. The stone has to relate to you.
Sure. It talks to you.
It talks to you. Yeah, it talks to you. Sometimes I can just do that for today, and I don't even see any stone talking to me. I go back, and sometimes you can leave it for even a week. And when you go there, when it is time to just talk to the stone, it will just shout at you that I'm here.
Yeah, that
And
is so interesting.
Yes.
That is
And then
so
you pick it
interesting.
up. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And
Oh,
and
you know,
also
I don't.
it also you have to be also, you have to have the inspiration at that moment. And if you are not inspired, you can't even communicate with the stones. Yeah.
It's an interesting, it's an interesting world, really. It's just like people who paint. Sometimes they talk like that. They say, you know, I'll have like a canvas there, and I just don't feel like painting. But sometimes they just do like one stripe, and then from there comes an amazing piece of an amazing piece of art. Same thing like you're saying that it
Exactly.
can.
Sometimes you go around and find a very nice piece of stone, but it doesn't even reflect anything to you. That would be like a game, hide and seek.
Yeah.
And you really want the stone, but you don't see anything. It's just there. So sometimes when you just put a punch,
Yeah.
sometimes put a punch, you make 2 or 3 lines on it.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. It comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see what it is.
How long does it take you to do these pieces? You know, like you take a punch and you get started. For instance, the one that I just showed there, you know, this one. Let me show it again.
So that one took quite a time while I was looking at it before I started sculpting on it.
Yeah.
And I had to make to see where it's standing, make a base, make it stand. So look at it around. and it eventually comes out. I saw it in the stone.
Yeah.
And I bring it out.
Did you
Sculpt.
sell? Is it gone? Is it sold or is still there at your studio?
It's still there.
Is it?
It's
Are you
still
selling it?
Yes.
But are there some pieces which you just feel like you don't want to part with them? I know you make it for it's part of your job. That's your business, and you sell these stones. But are there some which you've always wanted to keep?
Yes. There are some which you always want to keep because it's like, when I'm creating these things, they are just coming from me inside. So they are part of me.
Yeah.
So when it is gone, it's like one part of me is gone. And
True.
now sometimes I keep them until I said, okay, it's enough for me now. I can
Time to
let it
go.
go. Eh,
That's just it's amazing. Now, why do you think there are fewer female sculptors in Zimbabwe? Let's talk about Zimbabwe that you and me know. Why is it? Do you think they are not inspired, or the assumption is just it's a male dominated field, and so women don't want to go, or why do you think there are fewer?
Yeah, it might be one, two or so. Number one is it's like a male dominated field.
Mm-hmm.
Two, it's hard work.
Mm-hmm.
And three, some might not even know they can do it. They some have not even see women doing it or to see where it is being done, not inspired. Because like me, I was like, I will be a nurse, and I wanted to be a pilot. Then it came to say because of my love of art, seeing it, my father doing it. So it's like other women, they just go think women has to do these other jobs, not doing the men because it's a men's job, sculpting in Zimbabwe.
Well, it's hard. Yes, the hard I can understand, but I don't know if it's a men's job, but it's a male-dominated industry, and a
Yes.
lot of women. You know how we grow up being told women do these kind of things, men do these kind of things, but there
Yes.
are some who just have an amazing, who have a third eye, so to speak, who can see pictures in stones, like yourself. Look at you, and you never did anything all your life. Now you have your own children, and all you did was working with stone, right? But
Yes.
it's because I would like to think it's the empowerment which came from your father and you growing up seeing this and just developed a love for it.
Exactly. Exactly. That was me. And from someone who doesn't have someone doing it near them and not
Yeah.
that they don't even come to think they can do it. Yeah.
So, do you try and educate or maybe inspire other younger women who might show interest in sculpture?
Yeah. I inspire. Sometimes I do workshops
Yes.
to, 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 to other people who want to learn. But
Yes.
I haven't done it more because
Mhm.
I was like, I wanted to do my work
Yes.
extensively.
Yeah.
And then I was like, when I get old, like what I'm getting on, then
You're
then
still very young, Agnes. You're still very
I
young.
will do the teaching.
Yeah. Well,
It
you
will be
teach your children and
it
your
will be
maybe
easy
your
for me.
grandchildren. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
So I was like, I'll be doing the workshops. If people want to learn how to sculpt, then I can teach them.
sure.
Yeah.
Agnes, I thank you so much for coming to talk to me about what you're doing. And for those who are watching, her studio is in Greendale, and her contact number is at the bottom. give her a call if you want to go and see some of the pieces that she has done and to support her. We like to support people who are doing this kind of stuff in our communities. Buy from her, it's going to wear the cause. She also will inspire other younger women and younger people to get into sculpture. My good friend Dominic Benhura was on the program once, and we talked about some of the work that she's done. And I like to think those are some of the people you've grown up knowing who are doing the same kind of thing.
I did even, I worked with Dominic at Chapungu.
Oh, that's why I mentioned it, because I know you guys were at Chapungu and doing amazing stuff over there.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Agnes, and good luck. Keep doing what you're doing.
Welcome, Spiwe. Thank you so much.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you.